Hello, it's Thursday, May 2nd of 2024, and today I'm here at Washington Dulles International Airport to explore and discuss the history of the airport's transportation system. Over to you, future Nathan.
Thanks, past Nathan. I'm going to dive right into answering the thumbnail question, which, if you missed it, is what are these things? These are known as mobile lounges, and they're essentially fat buses. Well, technically some of them are called plane mates that can raise and lower, but I'll ignore the distinction for simplicity and continue to refer to them collectively as mobile lounges. The concept of the mobile lounge was put forward by Eero Saarinen, the airport's architect, and was a key feature of the original terminal design. The idea is that instead of making passengers walk all the way to their gate, they can relax, eat, and shop in the main terminal until their flight is ready to board. They can then simply walk into a comfortable, spacious lounge and stay seated until the vehicle connects to the plane. Once attached, all that's left is a short walk. As passenger numbers and aircraft capacity grew, space became limited, and the need for multiple lounges for each flight made the system impractical. To relieve the passenger congestion, 2 remote concourses were constructed, as well as the AeroTrain, which opened in 2010. At present, mobile lounges still operate, but much differently than their original intent. I'll discuss their current operating patterns later. As this video is about the entire transit system, I have to at least quickly mention the Silver Line extension to the airport, which opened in late 2022. I was actually there on opening day. The Metro makes it possible to make the 28-mile journey by train from downtown Washington right to the airport in less than an hour, which is unfortunately almost always slower than driving. Anyway, let's go over the airport and its systems in greater detail. Airport Overview. Dulles uses 6 different letters attached to the gate number to identify each of the airport's sections. The A and B gates are in the closer, spacious concourse, the C and D gates are in the further, cramped one, and the Z and H gates are attached to the main terminal, where all of the check-in counters and security checkpoints are located. To get to any gate in the airport from the main terminal, you either have to walk, take the AeroTrain, or use a mobile lounge. No transit. Boring. There are a few sections of the airport that you can walk to. These are the Z gates, a short corridor of gates from which short-haul flights depart, the H gates, a rarely used section that's actually a mobile lounge waiting area which operates how the original airport used to, though it appears to be used as an employee lounge most of the time, and, although most people take the AeroTrain, you can also walk to the A and B gates through this eerily empty underground passageway. It takes about 5 minutes to walk down and has 3 moving walkways, on each side. The AeroTrain. The AeroTrain, not to be confused with the AirTrain, runs over a 2-ish mile long reverse J within the airport's secure zone, connecting the Z gates, A gates, the main terminal, and the B gates in that order. You'll notice that the line doesn't complete the U by connecting to the D gates. That's because the CD concourse is technically temporary, but considering it's almost 40 years old, it operates more like an inadequate permanent facility. The system uses 29 rubber-tired Mitsubishi crystal movers, which are used in many airports around the world, such as Orlando, Singapore's Changi, and Dubai. They are fully automated with CBTC signaling and operate at a max speed of 42 miles an hour. The trains are fitted with very wide doors, great for an airport with high volumes of people. They also play a copious number of announcements for safety. Each car only has 8 seats, but since it only takes at most 2 minutes to get from station to station, you won't be standing for long. The seats are only meant for the people who really need them. When the people mover gets crowded at peak times, every inch of standing room counts. The crystal movers also feature a clear front and back window, making for a fantastic view down the tunnel. You can see where the trains switch tracks, which happens without switches, and the funny-looking arrow signals. Side note, the AeroTrain is not on Apple Maps like some other people movers, such as the ones in Singapore and Madrid. All of the stations are quite similar. They all have wide platforms that can accommodate 4-car trains, although the existing sets are only 3 cars long. They also have platform screen doors, pretty much exclusive to airports in the United States. Unusually, the tops of the tracks are also covered to protect against objects or people falling from above. This extra protection ensures that vehicles are never fully exposed in regular service, which enhances safety. The platforms don't have any train departure boards, which are sort of unnecessary anyway since the train arrives every 2 minutes, but they do have plain departure screens, airport maps, and, at the main terminal station, many ads. All of the platforms are naturally fully accessible for both wheelchair users and for passengers who prefer elevators, especially those with luggage. All stations, except for the A gates for some reason, make use of the Spanish solution to expedite the boarding process. The so-called solution employs platforms on both sides of the tracks, allowing for one to be used for boarding and the other for alighting. In the airport's case, passengers board from the center island platform and alight on the side platforms. This is controlled with signage, escalators, and timed train doors, where the side platform side opens first. The extra platforms are currently a bit useless at the termini because the middle platform already allows for separate boarding and alighting, since you can't board the train while it turns around, of course. Please ignore how I obtained this footage. However, this has actually been intelligently future-proofed because at some point the line may extend further to form a closed loop, making the useless platforms useful again. Finally, I have to talk about the long hallway from the Seagate station to the concourse. As you start down the passageway, you're met with some lovely pictures that illustrate the beauty of our planet Earth, but are quickly and abruptly dumped into PenFed Hell. Luckily, they appear to have considerably lowered the jingle volume since the last time I was here. The passageway exists because the permanent CD concourse was supposed to be built right on top of the station, but that's not happened. Instead, a third smaller E-concourse is now planned to sit on top, which will make the station the only one to directly connect to two concourses. The Mobile Lounge. Dulles Airport operates two regular Mobile Lounge shuttle routes. The primary route runs from the main terminal to the D gates approximately every 5 minutes. It's frequent enough to always have a shuttle boarding on each end, so you never have to wait outside of the vehicle. The second route runs from the A gates to the D gates, but only operates every 15 minutes during these specific posted times. When not in service, passengers must take alternate routes. Each Mobile Lounge, identified by 1 or 2 letters on the side, has 4 boarding doors, or 2 on each end. To load and unload passengers, the vehicle has to dock to a terminal building. To dock, the driver drives straight into a receiving pair of doors, and once attached, all doors open and passengers can freely flow in and out. This process is quite similar to docking in space, but without the whole 3 dimensions thing, zero gravity, and pressurization. So not very similar, I guess. Some lounges have a driver cab on both ends, so the vehicle never has to reverse to undock. The mobile lounges have nice interiors. They have lots of poles for standees, very comfortable seats, and a few different fabric colors. The lounges drive down extra wide lanes marked with diamonds, the same used for HOV lanes, and on a clear day, you can get amazing up-close views of a variety of aircraft and other airport vehicles. It's a great experience for those who love planes. Other than the occasional flight from the H gates, like I mentioned before, there is one additional situation where mobile lounges are regularly used. A majority of passengers arriving on international flights transfer to a mobile lounge to take them to the International Arrivals building in the main terminal to pass through immigration and customs. I think that having to stand in a packed room for 10 minutes or so after a long and tiring flight is the most hated aspect of the mobile lounge. The only travelers that can skip the lounge after an international arrival are those who arrive on a United or other Star Alliance flight and are transferring to a domestic United flight. Those customers clear immigration and customs inside of the CD concourse building itself and don't have to return to the main terminal. Airports like Dulles aren't built anymore. New modern airports are generally built like spiders that allow people to walk directly to their gate while simultaneously minimizing walking times. See Istanbul, for example. We've learned that people generally prefer to be autonomous in airports, and restricting flow through transit vehicles diminishes the passenger experience. Eero Saarinen's grand experiment may have failed, but it led to the creation of a fascinating airport transit system, which many hate anyway. That's all from me for today. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!